Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on our day after Juneteenth monthly session. So, we have another day of treats for you, as you would imagine, as we always do. Um, our goal, our mission is to create a broadened awareness of Black culture using the Juneteenth platform via the principles of Kwanzaa. And by doing that, we are utilizing collaboration efforts, rebuilding of the National Black Wall Street, and empowering efforts that will help to put policies together for effective change. That is what we are always doing when we come together. And we just thank you for joining us once again. Again, my name is Athenia Rodney, and I'm the CEO and founder of Umoja Events. I am also the co-creator for our Juneteenth event that has been occurring the last 11 years. Well, this year we did it online, and it was a huge success. And we are looking forward to great things to come. As we've expressed in the past, um, for this coming Juneteenth for 2021, we are really excited to announce that we will be offering a full weekend summit. So it will not just be one day like we have done typically in the last 11 years. We will be offering the event from Friday until Sunday. So please be on the lookout. Please continue to look out our website at juneteenthny.com. And without further ado, I want to bring one of my co-creators on. Her name is Pippi from Miss Spuds. And let me bring you up. You are muted. There you
Good
go.
afternoon.
Hey,
How
how
are
you
you?
doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Happy to
Awesome.
be here.
Well, we are glad to have you, Pippi
Awesome.
from Miss Spuds. Everything potatoes and no gravy.
Thank you.
I feel like I have to. I feel like I have to do the head switch every time
You
I
have
say
to
your
because
name.
it's so sassy. She's so sassy. And she's just waiting for everybody to be a part of this. So thank you for having us.
No problem.
Having us
So
be a
I
part of
am
this.
going to give you the floor. Thank you again for being here, and I will let you introduce our guest for today.
Sure, sure. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's out there ready to be informed, who's logged on, looking forward to learning about business, entrepreneurship, how to get started, get energized, get excited. Who we have today is my mentor, my teacher, my main man, Stephen Jackson, who is the CEO of WIBO Workshop in Business, which I graduated from initially in 2012 with a business called Miss Spud's Everything Potato No Gravy. Some may have experienced Miss Spud's throughout Brooklyn over the years, and this year we we re we re what did we redo? We joined WIBO once again to get reacclimated, get serious about business, and decided to pull the trigger on really being a part of this business, going all out. So I actually signed up again for WIBO, getting re-energized, relearned about how to start, operate, own, and succeed in business. And when I tell you, this is one of the most incredible experiences you can have. What you can learn from this 10-week workshop is incredible. It is gold standard. It is one of the most incredible MBA standards of business that you will receive. Um, Miss Spuds, what I've learned, and here's my pitch. Miss Spuds is an all potato based company that specializes in French fries, sweet potato fries, gourmet potato chips, potato nachos, mashed potato bar, French fries and ice cream, a seafood fry. We do the gamut. We are all potato based. All of our components have their own dipping sauces and own toppings, and we are scheduled to be in Shirley Chisholm Park really, really soon. So look forward to the big launch. We hope to see you all there. So without further ado, we are going to bring on Stephen Jackson again, once again, the CEO of WIBO. Get ready, get your pencil and papers together, take all the notes you can, listen in.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Miss Spuds. Everything potato, no gravy.
Do the hat.
uh,
Do the hat.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah,
I'm
it's our
real
pleasure.
happy to definitely. I'm glad that you had a great experience at the workshop and business opportunities.
Always.
But more importantly, we're really waiting to see that truck launch and definitely see more trucks after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you will. Franchise is the name of the game.
That's right. There you
Yeah.
go. And that's the focus that we like to see for all of our graduates. So, uh, background history: the workshop and business opportunities was started in 1966 in Harlem by two gentlemen, Walter Geyer, who wrote sales training books, and another gentleman, Mal Woolfolk, who was an attorney to people like Percy Sutton and Charlie Rango, and they both was very involved in helping. At that time, we were the Negro population, helping us build economic empowerment by starting and growing our own companies. As Walter and his family were watching the riots during the 1965 civil unrest, when we were fighting for, basic human rights and freedoms, he thought that the best way for the Negro race to build economic empowerment was if we learned how to start our own businesses. And he didn't want to do this through a college type of course or some sort of curriculum. So he created about a 300-page workbook that is still standard to what we use today. And it's the original 16-week course on how to build a growing profitable business. And the key word in that course is a profitable business. So for 16 weeks, we go from everything from marketing to sales to break-even analysis to how to hire, how to use your money, how to use credit. Everything is designed so that by the end of the 16 weeks, you have all the ingredients to be up and running a business, or if you're already in business, to begin improving your business. It's interesting that first workshop had 15 people, 12 graduated. And since then, we have been all over the country and all over the world. So our workshop has been taught in approximately probably about a dozen other cities. We're currently in 5 cities right now. We've been in our workbook has been translated into Mandarin, Spanish, Tibetan, Bulgarian. It's also been taught in those countries. Our founder, Walter Guy, actually even taught the workshop on 4 Indian reservations around in the Southwest during the early 70s. And at one point, the workshop was even taught to the Black Panthers here in New York City. Unfortunately, the side of that was that they got arrested before they can complete the workshop. But who knows what might have happened with that if they were able to incorporate that knowledge and everything else that they were doing positively at the time with their food centers, their healthcare, and everything else. Okay, so where we are today is our focus is basically on removing the barriers to entrepreneurship, right? To success that's often, that we get rid of those myths, and let me just put this in some basic terms. So there are some myths that revolves around business ownership. So the first myth is that you need a lot of money or you need to raise a lot of money. And that's pretty much what we see people want to do today, and that really depends upon where you want to start your business at. So we are teaching you how to, and we don't, and actually I'm using the wrong word. We don't really teach. We facilitate a conversation every week for 16 weeks. And during those conversations and answering the questions in our workbook, you are developing the foundation of how you're going to build, design, and grow your own business. I myself, I'm a graduate of the workshop. I graduated in 1992. I built and sold 3 multi-million-dollar businesses. And I would tell anyone, even though I've done this kind of work on a regular basis, I can't teach anyone how to build a business. I can't tell you this should be your step one, this is going to be your step two, this should be your step three. However, what we can do is we can sit down and have a conversation. Now, I could talk about my experiences. You could talk about your passion, dreams, and desires and your skill set, and we could come to some solutions on some of the things that you should be doing to grow your business. And that's pretty much how our workshop works every week. So every week we formulate around a business topic. We start off with market research because that is the first thing you need to know is, do you have a market for the product or service that you're going to sell? And we're going to give you we give you some homework. And you complete the homework, you complete the task, and you now begin to implement part of what you've learned into your business model. And we give you tasks so that as you're completing these tasks, you're getting closer to opening, operating your business. Now, what does it take for entrepreneurship? Uh, Interesting research that we have uncovered is that 75% of all companies that are making $1 million or more were started with $10,000 or less. Let's take an example. Spanx. I'm quite sure most women are familiar with the Spanx brand. Well, Spanx was started with $5,000. It is now $1 billion company. So this young woman was able to take $5,000 and she figured out a problem to solve, right? And the problem to her was something that could make women look slimmer. So she found a problem. She found a way to solve that problem and turned that into $1 billion business. And that is what business is really all about. It is about solving a problem, providing a need, fulfilling someone's desire. Money exchanges hands when you do one of those three things. So when you look at how you may want to start a business, think about what is it that you do well? What are you good at? What do you have a gift in? What's your skill? And then it's not so much focusing on how much money you can raise, it's focused on what are the things that you have available to you at this moment to go into business. So I like to use the example of restaurants. Okay. I am a chef. I love to cook. And not I do love to cook personally, but I don't have chef skills. So I'm just doing this arbitrarily. So you want to open up a restaurant. There's three ways. So you go out, you've been a sous chef, you've been on the line, you've done everything, you think you really know the restaurant business, and then you can go about this, say, I want to raise enough money to open up a restaurant. Well, here in New York City, it takes anywhere between $1 million to $2 million to open up a restaurant in New York City. However, so you could spend your time running around looking for founders, looking for investors, because it's very difficult to get a bank to lend you money. And if you don't have collateral, you're not going to get no bank to lend you new money for a new idea. So what are you going to do? If you were attending WIBO, we could talk about where could you start at. And I'm quite sure, Pippi, you can elaborate on that, because it's not about having a restaurant. It's about where can you start to make sales that you can reinvest into your business and grow. And that's where we go
Yeah.
from starting small to growing big. So tell her, how'd you do it?
I started with what I had. I had my idea. In order to execute it with what I had, which was very minimal, which was maybe $100 and an opportunity. Um, I started with the smallest part of the biggest
Hmm.
seller. Okay, which would be the easiest. So because we deal with so many components, so many varieties, the French fries, sweet potato fries, gourmet potato chips, potato nachos, all of these things, in order for me to get my name out there, to practice my craft, to see if this thing would really work, I said, let me see what would be the easiest, the fastest, the least expensive. And that was just the French fries that allowed me to get one fryer, um, a barrel of oil, a case of
Hmm.
potatoes, a cheap food cutter. I already had the bowls and the whisks so I can make my sauces. So I made do with what
Hmm.
I had. And with that actually came profit. I was able to double and triple my money because I was able to sell out with what I had. And just the confidence in knowing that people were responding to my product, which Athenia can respond to because she's a really good customer. It allowed me to believe that I was able to have a product that was sellable. And each time I made the profit, I put it back into the business. And I
Hmm.
was able to save and build on the equipment. I was able to do many outdoor events. I was able to do one of our WIBO graduations, the presentation. So you start with what you have. Start small. If you want to do a
Hmm.
book, you start with a pamphlet, a small book. You know what I mean? A short story. Get your name out there, get your feet wet, and you start with what you have. That's how I did it.
Right. So we see people who start, it may not have a restaurant money, but they may have food truck money, or
Correct.
they may even have a push cart money, or in your case, one fryer money.
That's
And
it.
then even that we are seeing in this new world that we're now, and we're seeing chefs who have a skill or saying, I don't need to rent a restaurant. I can go get me a rented kitchen
Yeah.
and prepare all my meals and have it delivered by Grubhub, DoorDash, or whatever it is that is available to them. And we're starting to see that now. So we're starting to see restaurants that will never have a physical location. You will never
Yeah.
go in there and sit down and eat, but they're going to deliver you, a world-class gourmet meal or whatever it is that you have a taste for. And it's just coming from a kitchen through delivery service, because even before the pandemic, people were beginning to say, I want to, I got my big screen television, I got Netflix, I got all this other stuff. I don't need to go out and be in a noisy environment. Hey, let's just order in. And now we saw that happen before the pandemic. And now that we're in this pandemic, we're seeing it starting to grow.
Yeah.
And here's the thing that I've been telling everyone ever since this pandemic: there's always opportunity and adversity. So in WIBO, we're teaching you how we facilitate those conversations on how you can learn to deal with the adversity that may come, because growing a business is never going to be a straight path up. Even graduating from our program and getting a certificate does not guarantee that business is going to be like that, straight up, or straight up. You're going to encounter circumstances, you're going to encounter issues, but learning how to go back to what you've learned in the workshop and utilizing those skills is what makes our program as successful as it has been over these years. We have graduated close to 19,000 individuals around the country. Between us and our affiliates, we have business owners who have been in business now for more than 20 years, 25 years. We have a boutique up in Harlem, the Brownstone, by Princess Jenkins. She is celebrating her 21st year last week. So even though she's had to deal with the pandemic like all the rest of us, she still managed, to stay and do everything she could do to stay in business. And she's celebrating her 21st year. And we're looking forward to seeing the 25th year as well. So um, these are the things that entrepreneurs say these are their challenges. One is limited financial resources, lack of business experience and knowledge, working in the business and not on the business, and no real support system. And that has been where we step in and work on things. So the first thing we did talk about is limited financial resources. And the first thing we said is that it's not what you have, is not what you desire, is what you have, what you can work with at the moment. It's about being able to start small and be able to grow by making a profit and reinvesting. Lack of business knowledge and experience. That's what you go through in either our 10-week or our 16-week program. We're providing you access to information or access to the networks, access to understanding how to utilize capital. Sorry about that. Got notifications popping up. Uh, and then number three is that as a WIBO graduate, we have our WIBO Online Academy, where we help you work in the business and not get away from working in the business and then begin to work on the business. See, when a person is working in the business, they are doing everything. So in this situation, I'm gonna take you, Pippi. That would make Pippi. She would be the person who would be buying all the materials, doing all the food prep, be on site, lugging equipment to the site, then doing all the cooking, collecting the money, doing the accounting. And that's what's working in the business is about. So if you're working in the business, you have very little time to work on the business, because now you're starting to do everything. And our focus is to get you to that point where you can bring in key personnel to take over some of the not income producing things that you need to do, to grow the business, and then allow you to work on the business. So let's say in Pippi's case, there is an opportunity to franchise. There's a franchise model, which is very successful, where she can start to sell licenses to other individuals around the country who may want to get into, say, hey, I like this concept. It works for me. I can get a food truck. You got a ready-made product. You got the sauces, everything together, and I can just go out there and just sell. So I could buy into it, whatever that number would be. Um, Let's see what started. Okay, yeah, true. I'm reading the comments too at the bottom. I apologize. I thought it was a question that popped
We got
up.
to stay focused, but I
Yeah,
get
that's true. So, working on the business allow you to grow the business to that point where you want. And then we also talk about the third phase, which is we call it the exit strategy. Do you want to hand your business over to the next generation? Because the business is a way to build generational wealth. You can pass a business on, you can pass a home on. Those are two of the fastest ways for Americans to build generational wealth. These are two opportunities that was very difficult for African Americans. Home ownership, definitely, we was redlined even here in New York. Even here in New York City, we was redlined from the suburbs. From home ownership. Back after World War II, when homes were going for $9,000 and $10,000 out there in certain parts of Long Island, they were told not to sell the blocks. But entrepreneurship, own a business, you could pass that on. I look at Sylvia's restaurant in Harlem, which is, been in existence almost 60 years now. And we're looking at now the grandchildren of Sylvia and Van Woods, operating the business now. So that's that's what happens when you create generational wealth, something you could pass down to your children. Number 4, they talk about no real support system. Well, Pippi, I think you can attest to that. You still WIBO is a support system. Our volunteers consistently are around to help our graduates, and many of the graduates do stay in contact with one another to provide that support system. We understand that sometimes friends and family don't understand what business ownership or growing a business is like.
yeah,
So we make certain that we create that way of everyone to keep in touch, to keep that support system going. And it's very important. And even with me, who have built multiple businesses, I still have a grounded support system that I can lean on, so that I don't have to work on attempting to figure out everything myself. Okay.
yeah.
So let's go next. So this is how WIBO works. We meet 3 hours once a week. The first 90 minutes we spend on homework discussion. So as I told you, every week you get homework, as every week, every class builds on the class before. So the people who attend week number 1, their homework assignment will revolve around market research. They need to figure out who is their market, who is their target market, who is their niche, how much do they know about their target market, and how much do they know about their competitors. So they're going to research their competition, direct, indirect, and survey and figure out who their target market is. Then they're going to read their answers aloud in class, reading from their homework, and they're going to get feedback from that. Now you say, "Then wait a minute, I'm reading my answers in front of strangers, and at this point, you're pretty much strangers. It's like your second week together. Uh, what does that mean, and why would I want to do that?" Well, this is what we've learned in the 55 years of the workshop. We all have 180 degrees of peripheral vision that we see. There's also 180 degrees of what we don't see. And other people who are working on similar ideas, everyone in the room is, anywhere between 12 to 15 people working on growing a business, will see your business through their eyes. They will see things about your business that you don't see. And by them giving you that feedback, they can help you see some new ways of doing things. There's 7 billion plus people on this planet. That means there's 7 billion ways of doing things. There is no one correct way to build a company, none at all. And that is what we do. So that's why the third bullet point say that it's highly participatory. In order to get something out of this workshop, you got to participate. You got to ask questions. You got to answer questions. You got to be prepared to accept feedback. You got to, you're able to make mistake after mistake after mistake, week after week after week in the workshop, because it's not going to cost you any real money. And you get to learn, and you get to see how a better way of doing things, so that when you are launching your business, those are less mistakes you will make in the real world. We use a case study. We open up every topic every week. We open a new topic in the second 90 minutes of the topic discussion with a case-based study, and then once again we ask your opinion about that case study. And then our whole design is to prepare you to do homework for that week coming up. Everybody who participates in the workshop as either a work group leader, someone who is leading the class, or our discussion leaders, or volunteer business owners. So you're learning, you're listening to people who are actually in business, people who are running businesses as well day to day. This is not a college type of course where you got a professor of entrepreneurship or whatever business management attempting to teach you about some theory of running a business. No, we're dealing with what is actual things that you can implement into your company at this point in time to grow your business. This one. Okay, there we go. And I just talked about the work group leader and the discussion leader, which is, I said, subject matter expert leading the second class for each topic. So what do we do? What do the topics look like? Well, we have two workshops that we have. We have the original one was 16 weeks. And due to changes in the world, we now have a 10-week workshop that is more geared toward people who are going to be building internet-style businesses. For people in the gig economy, that means those are Uber drivers, Airbnb hosts, people, and those type of industries, and individuals who are not going to be building traditional brick and mortar, or professionals like accountants and such, accountants, lawyers, therapists, and people like that. So in the first 8 classes, workshops that we go through are the same in both programs. And that's because that is our core. Is getting the facts, once again, market research, identifying your target market, the marketing message. What are you going to say to people to that market once you've identified them? Promoting your business, the marketing campaign. Where are you going to put the messages at where you know your target market will see it and be able to and may respond to it? Searching for customers, prospecting, and helping people buy sales. Okay. Once you get to that, we go into what we consider the heart and the differential advantage of our program, and that is 3 workshop classes on break-even analysis, making a profit. And Pippi just loved those classes. I mean, they were fun, weren't they? Those classes are we are the only organization in the country that spends as much time on making a profit than there's no other organization out there unless you're taking a college entrepreneur style course. So we're spending 3 weeks on making a profit with your pricing strategy. Understand what can you charge for your product or service based upon what your competitors charge, based upon the value of what you're selling. We get into the next lesson is making a profit, cost understanding. What are your costs? What does it cost for you to deliver your service? What does it cost for you to make your product? Also take in consideration of paying yourself as well. We put that in. That's a cost. There's a cost of paying. We want you to pay yourself up front because you have bills to pay too while you're growing your business. And then we talk about financial decision making. What decisions do you need to make when it comes to how you're going to handle what you're selling, how much it's going to cost, what your startup costs may look like? This is when we get into figuring out these things. And with 10 week, we have 2 units that were never introduced before. And the first one is bootstrapping. So bootstrapping is finding available resources to start. That's where we go into understand that, you're not going to be, like I said, unless you got collateral, you're not going to be able to walk into a bank and get a loan just to run your business. But there are so many other ways to build a business, so many other resources that are available. And that's what we have that conversation on. And then unit number 10 is e-commerce. Which is basically we're talking about what you need to do to develop a viable, strong, profitable e-commerce site or website for your business. As you can see, the first things, the same things were applied to the 16-week workshop, but then we go into a whole lot of other different things. We talk about return on investment, how you can figure out a formula for before you buy something for your business. How much return on an investment will it generate you? Because the business owners don't spend money. We invest money. And we want to return on what we purchase for our business. So if I'm purchasing, in Pippi's case, you're purchasing a piece of equipment, you want to get this new device that slice, dice, peels, and fryer all in one. Well, what does it do? How much time can it save you? What value does it bring to your business? And that's what we want you to learn how to figure out so that you don't just buy stuff just because someone is selling something that looks so cool to you at the time. Okay. We get into return on as we get in that, we're talking about business growth, cash flow projections, understanding how to set up your cash flow so you understand what are your high points. All businesses have highs and lows. So what happens during your cash flow during that time? How do you prepare for it? Using other people's money, credit financing, human resources. So you can see the 16-week course, yes, is a lot more in depth, but it's really, either one of them are viable for the type of business that you may be looking to start. So Pippi, Yeah, I almost call you by
Yes.
your government name. I'm so used to
Listen, I answer to it all.
I hear you. Tell us a little bit about break-even analysis. What was it like for you? Because I
Well,
already I see all the interviews and stuff, so I know what other people say.
yeah. So for my business, it was actually exciting to see because I don't I don't require a lot of equipment like many restaurants would.
Mhm.
Mine was fairly low as far as the equipment and supplies are concerned compared to my pricing. So when I'm able to sell whatever, I don't want to say what my profit is. My profit is great after I apply it back to the business. After I write off, not write off. Um, uh, after I apply the monies back to whatever we purchased out, like the truck, like we still owe on the truck, and
Mhm.
we have to consider the insurances, we have to consider salaries, whoever's getting paid. So once we clear all of that, it's good to see how much money we're earning, the business is earning.
Yeah. So what was the process to get to those numbers? So like,
um for me it was fun because I like numbers. You know what I
okay.
mean? I like numbers, so it wasn't bad. It was a little challenging in the beginning to because you have to apply these things. This isn't your personal life, right?
Mhm.
So I have to consider my business something other than myself, and have to take it very seriously, and these numbers have to be exact. So applying them and just following the formula,
Right.
which is a great formula that WIBO shows us how to manage the business, how to apply these numbers. What you get out of it will tell you what you need to work on if there's something you need to work on, and
Mhm.
if you're doing great, the numbers will tell. The numbers will tell.
Definitely. Okay. So hold on one second. I just jumped on instructional format. There we go. So give you an idea of what we've done over the past half century. 65% of our entrepreneurs are African American, 28% are other minorities, 80% of our WIBO entrepreneurs are women. Actually, that numbers probably have creeped up when we do this again. We're definitely finding more women in our workshops. Actually, I got one workshop class starting tomorrow that is all 14 are women. Uh,
Wow,
yes,
we're doing it.
we got some theories about it, but it's something. You're right. The women are out there doing it. They're taking the risks. 50% of our business owners report that their business is the main source of their income. There is one stat though that I really want to talk. These are all nice and stuff, but this is the one. 54% of our graduates are still in business after 5 years, and that is way better than the national average of 20%. Or in some cases, some people you will see some stats that say almost 90% of small businesses will fail. Um, so what we're seeing now is from people who have taken WIBO and applying what they've learned in that workshop and applying it to their business, they have the better chance of still being in business. And like I said, even through crisis like this last pandemic, and I can say this last one, this still going on. This current pandemic and even the financial crisis of 2008 and one of 2000 and 2000 and so forth, we're still seeing entrepreneurs who have come through WIBO who are still able to pivot their business or implement new and innovative things and continue to grow their company. Okay. So we also have additional programs when you graduate the workshop. Our newest one is the Entrepreneurial Mindset Program. And what we've learned, I've been a student of leadership training for about 15 years. And leadership training has really given me the mindset to really run, profitable businesses and what it takes to really be an entrepreneur. Because being an entrepreneur can be tough on the mind, especially if you're coming from a place where you already have other challenges and other issues to overcome. So our EMP program is really about assisting you with building the mental capacity, toughening up the mental skills, okay, to be a successful entrepreneur. As I said, we want you to have that support group, but it's still up to you. It's how the choices and decisions that you decide to make. So It's unleashed potential that you didn't know, learn to focus on positive behaviors and recognize some negative habits because, and I'm gonna give you a brief synopsis of how this may look. You decided to come out, you have this concept, this idea, this dream to be a business owner. And as you start to flush it more in your mind, something will happen. Number one, you're getting ready to do something that is uncomfortable, that has never been done before. The brain's number one job is to keep you safe. So the brain your brain may be having a conversation with you that may make it a little difficult because you're getting ready to step outside that comfort zone. And whatever circumstances or whatever happens that you find yourself in a WIBO workshop, the brain is going to continue to tell you that story. You're not good enough, or show you all the other people that fail. It's what we begin to focus on that expands for us. So in this universe, wherever you put your energies and thoughts at, those are the things that's going to expand for you. And the EMP program is designed to help you focus on the things that's going to get you to the next level, not the things that's going to hold you back. It helps you how to reframe the story that you've been telling yourself as to why you haven't. I ask a question in every orientation. I ask people, what would they do if they were not afraid? And my number one answer is people would say that I would have started my business sooner, or I would have quit my job and started my business sooner. So that tells you right then that there has been something that has been holding them back for years from taking an entrepreneurial plunge. Something in their mind, there's some lies that has been told, that their brain has been telling them as to why they cannot be an entrepreneur, why they cannot be successful. And I'm here to tell you that everybody on this planet has the DNA of an entrepreneur. We all have gifts and talents that were given to us by the Creator that we can turn into making money. It's how civilization began. Some people were good with some of my ancestors were good with animals, others was good with metals, some were good with healing, and they traded for what they traded their skill, their gift for other things that they wanted and needed. That's how we all began. So every one of us, have the ability to be an entrepreneur. It just takes that decision and to be able to push forward and to be able to get your mind to work with you and not against you. And that's what we uncover in the entrepreneur workshop. And an EMP workshop that we do a couple of times a year. We also have WIBO Academy, which provides advanced online courses for those who have graduated. It's about now taking you from the startup position of working in the business, doing everything, to utilize some skills and process to help you work on the business. So we have workshops in social media. We have a whole two-section workshop on how to use Zoom. We have the basic and then we have the advanced. We have workshops on customer service. We have workshops on understanding the SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. That's something that businesses utilize to see if they need to pivot their business, if their business is going to be, for the next couple of years, will it be, successful? And should they start to innovate at this point now? Because in business, if you do not innovate, you're not going to be in business long. It requires, and we constantly see examples of companies that are no longer around because they chose not to innovate. You see that there are no more blockbusters when Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix. So we see Netflix, and there's one Blockbuster out in the state of Washington somewhere. I think it's in Eugene, but there's like one Blockbuster in the whole country. Okay, when they used to be, basically in every neighborhood. Now they're not there, but they're now there's Netflix. So and there's so many other examples. Kodak, which owned the camera world for so many decades, and no longer around. So if you don't innovate, if you're not consistently looking to improve your business, you may find yourself out of business. This is the things that we focus on in the WIBO Academy. So to get into our program, we provide several. There is a cost to attend our workshop. Our workshop has never been free. However, that cost is always dependent upon your income. But there are some supports that we do for people who are veterans. We have a scholarship available for them. For people who live in Niger housing, we have a special scholarship for them. They pay just $75 to attend the workshop. And then for individuals who have just been released from correctional facility in the past 24 months, we also have a program to support them. And that's actually a national program that we have now. So it's not just available here in New York, it's available to any reentry individual anywhere in the country to take our workshop for free. We can, and that is the 10-week workshop as well. And we work with other organizations to provide additional support services for individuals who have graduated our workshop and may need other things. Like we have a partnership with Savoy Bank. Savoy Bank will be doing uh, um, financial workshops so that our business owners can learn better how to manage their finances, what they need to start be working on, to be bank loan ready in the future, at some point in time. Entrepreneur organization they call EO. We'll be starting a program next year where they're going to be taking some of our business owners and mentoring them to get to the $250,000 level, and then put them in, give them a scholarship in their organization so they can get them to $1 million. Because actually, to be a member of EO, you have to be $1 million business minimum. So they're going to be working with WIBO graduates as well. And these things also are affiliates around the country. We're in St. Louis, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Waco, Texas, Shreveport, Louisiana, and I know I'm forgetting one, probably one or two off the top of my head. But in our other affiliates, they have similar programs as well for when our graduates come out of the program. So that is pretty much what the WIBO program is all about, what we do, what we've been doing for 55 years. People like Pippi is, who have come through the program. Was actually, in her case, she graduated twice, and she's not the only one. We have a number of people who have come back and taken the program, taken the workshop again because they realize that they need to hone up on some of their skills that may have been a little while. And some of them actually may have said, "Hey, I'm going in a whole new direction. I'm building a whole new business, and I want to come back and take the workshop again." And we have no problem with that. So that is pretty much the nutshell what the workshop and business opportunity does, what we've been doing for 55 years. The last thing I want to add is many of our volunteers have been with us for a minimum of about 10 years. So these are people who've been in business who volunteer their time every week or once a week or whenever. And they do it because they love it. They do it because they want to see entrepreneurship grow. I myself, I was a volunteer for 15 years before becoming the CEO in 2018. And my thing is I want to see as many successful Black-owned businesses as possible grow. This pandemic has taken away a significant portion of Black businesses, not just in the city, but across the country. And I'm looking for other entrepreneurs to be able to step in and grow their businesses and learn how to pivot their business so they can stay in business and stay profitable. That is, one of the things that we would love to see happen with the workshop. And as even though these are some trying times, these are also some of the best times to begin a business. Has always been in economic, upheaval, and even recessions have been great times to start companies because you can negotiate so many products and services that you may need to do your business and for less cost. You can think of something innovative that traditional competition is down out there doing, and just grow a company and be successful at it. And businesses are still opening up. I mean, even in my community, I just seen a juice shop that just opened up, a pizza shop just opened up, both of them are, you grab and go type of situation. They're not, they're small spaces. There's no, indoor dining and stuff. But people are going to consistently start business regardless of the economic climate. Money is going to always be spent regardless of the economic climate. People have needs that they want to fulfill, and they have things they want to purchase. Okay, so there's going to always be business. If you have an idea and a concept, if you have something you've been thinking about that you want and you're ready to launch, don't worry about the money. Contact us. Our next cohort, we're taking registration for our next cohort beginning. It's going to begin October 19th. It's going to be the 10-week session. It's going to be on a Monday and a Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m., 3 hours once a week. I encourage you to contact us. If you got any questions, definitely reach out to us as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephen. That was a
Sure.
wonderful presentation, and we really appreciate you supporting us in our Juneteenth, this venture, which
Mhm.
we want and believe will be a massive success. We look forward to a great turnout and having you back with us in June 2021 to give the big old presentation, the real deal. But in the meantime, I personally encourage anyone and everyone with an idea that they want to share with the world, sign up for this course. What I'm loving more than anything is the NYCHA scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many, so many NYCHA housing projects. I'm wondering how many people really know about this. So I'm looking forward to sharing this.
They do a lot of they have a department called Reese,
Okay.
which is they actually send email. They send a lot. They basically send emails and they posters up in all of their properties. So I think NYCHA got like 140 some, 180 some thousand
Yeah.
apartments here in the 5 boroughs.
Yeah.
So they do. I mean, when we did our NYCHA seminar last week, there was about 35 to 38 people.
Fantastic.
And just in that one alone. So they do an excellent job of reaching out to their audience. It's a good program. One of the things that they don't advertise, I can tell you, is that if you live in NYCHA property and you're starting a business, there's a program that you can apply for now where they will not adjust your rent for like 2 or 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So that means that, and I can understand, you live in NYCHA housing, your rent is set by income. So you think I start a business and I make $100,000, is my rent going to go up next year? If you apply through them and let them know you're starting a business, they will not increase your rent. They will not make any adjustments to your rent for 2 years. So that's also helpful for individuals who don't, like, I want to start a business, but I'm scared that, I make a lot of money all of a sudden. But I mean, my focus, just me personally, if I make $100,000, I'm looking forward to move out of NYCHA housing, but I got to say why you want to stay there, because your rent is fixed. You're like, let me save some money. Let me continue to save some money while my company grows. And also we got to remember, just because a company made $100,000, that's not cash to them, because there's, as there's the expenses. That's gross profit. That's not net profit. That's not like after everything was counted. And I think NYCHA has realized that as well. There's another program I want to talk about for individuals who may be unemployed. If you're receiving unemployment, there's a program called SEEP from New York State, SEEP. The SEEP program will allow you to take a business course that's over 20 hours, and definitely we qualify for over 20 hours, a 20-hour workshop, and you will be exempt from having to look for work while you're in the program. Yes. Okay. So you could take a entrepreneur program. You have to submit your business idea to them first. They approve it, and then you're exempt from having to report that you're looking for work every week, and you can take the workshop and work on your business idea.
Well, everyone should be taking advantage of that.
Yeah. So that's for individuals who are unemployed. This is only for New York State. I don't know about the other areas. I know I just asked someone to take a look and see if that's available in New Jersey for them. I have someone in New Jersey who's taking the workshop. Also, now that our workshops are online, people can participate from anywhere in the country. So we're no longer just in the 5 boroughs. We got, as we got people who are coming from either Texas or any of our other cities, and they're able to participate, as well as people who may not, if we don't have any slots here available for them here, and we got a workshop coming up in another city, they could probably attend there. There may be a time difference or whatever, but that's what we're able to do now that we're in this online virtual space.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea, because I remember when we started our class, I think we only had 2 classes.
That's right. There were 2 classes, and we moved everyone online.
We moved everyone online because of COVID, and we did not miss a beat. I mean, I missed having the personal, the camaraderie, the class setting, but it was good. It was good to be able to be in the comfort of your own home, having access to everything that you need. But WIBO was able to provide everything that we need. Even the instructors, they were so generous with their time, and implementing and sharing with us the value of each component, be it marketing, be it law, be it licensing, the profit loss, taxes, insurances, everything. I mean, WIBO just covers the gamut. So moving it online, you don't miss a beat. I think this is here to stay, right?
It is. Oh, yes. Trust me, after this experience, and interesting, we were preparing to come online this fall.
Oh.
So COVID just rushed this, pushed up our
Yeah, sped it up
timetable.
for
We
you.
were coming online this fall anyway,
Yeah.
but COVID pushed up, and actually it did us a favor
Hmm.
anyway by pushing us up because the tool sets that we were going to use probably would not have been as fun as or as simple to use as Zoom. So it actually gave us a better sense of insight to figure to test some things out. Because we had built, well, I didn't build, but one of
Yeah.
our there was a tool set that was being built to host the virtual classes,
Hmm.
and as we looked at it, and Zoom just seemed perfect what we needed to do.
Yeah.
So it worked. It's working very well for us. Like I said, this I don't know when we're going to return into a classroom. Probably to me, it's not going to be before spring of 2021 at
Right.
the earliest, and then we may not be in every borough like we used to be. It's going to look different for us
Yeah.
to go back live into a classroom, but the virtual workshops are here to stay.
I think it's fantastic.
Mhm.
I just, because I always have these big ideas, right? What if we had a graduating class at our Juneteenth event?
That is possible.
It is
That
possible.
is very much possible because actually our last cohort, yeah, there will be a cohort coming out just before your Juneteenth event because we're going to be running 5 cycles of the 10-week workshop.
Okay.
So basically, after October 19th, every 6 weeks between October and June, we'll be running a 10-week cohort. So I know that the cohort that would begin in April will
Hmm.
be finishing up in June.
Well,
Okay.
let's make sure we line that up, and
Sure.
let's just get more entrepreneurs out there. We're always talking about African American economics empowerment. Now's the time to do it. When we have times seem uncertain, but
Hmm.
there's also, we've made it through worse. We've made it.
Yeah.
We've made it through worse. We haven't. We've made it through some hard times, right? And I think this is one of the things that we can certainly survive, especially if you have an opportunity to be your own boss. Unemployment is still high, so if
Well,
there's an
a
opportunity,
lot of those jobs are not coming back. I mean,
right?
unfortunately. So the news is there's about a good 40% of businesses that will have permanently closed their doors. They're not coming
Mm,
back, through this pandemic. So and we don't, and I'm not even going to talk about what the federal government may or may not do. That's beside the point. What they may do to bolster. But the reports are turning to entrepreneurship. Everybody now is saying it's going to be entrepreneurship that's going to be the engine
yeah,
that's going to get this country up and running again. Because it's always been about small businesses. We do the most of the hiring. For
right.
us who in our communities, when you're starting a small business, you're looking to hire in your community. You're not like a big box store. Walmart come in, you got to force Walmart to hire from the community.
Yeah,
We as business owners, we're going to always look to hire people in our community. People look like us, give them a hand up.
hmm,
The same thing for those who are, coming from the reentry programs.
hmm,
They're looking to hire they looking to give other guys who came, other men and women who came through some of the same hardships,
hmm,
opportunity to, stop that cycle.
hmm.
And that's what this is all about. Is how do we get them out of the cycle to get everyone to be productive. So you got a job or you had a job. Is the thing that if you've been putting all of your belief that your job is going to be able to give you what you need and want, then that's a myth
Hmm.
because you don't know. Your job can go belly up tomorrow, and then you're left with nothing. I always talk about people about Enron work. Enron people went to work
Hmm.
thinking about their weekly check, what they got to pay,
Hmm.
and then they went to work and there was no job,
Yeah,
there was no company.
yeah,
So you get a paycheck. You don't spent that money before the paycheck has been issued. That's why now they got these systems where you can get your paycheck 2 days earlier. For all this other
yeah.
stuff. But the thing is that if you want to pay yourself what you believe that you're worth, the only way you can really do that is by being your own boss. If you got a
Totally
side,
agree.
we're talking about your ability to take that side hustle and make it your
Hmm.
main hustle.
Hmm.
Okay, so people got to pay your rent here in this city. You need a side hustle damn
Hmm.
near just to, whatever you need to do. So let's make that side hustle your main hustle,
Yeah.
so that you're not dependent upon having to go to work and working at a job that you don't like or not built for, not suited for, but it's just something to pay the bills
Hmm.
and do something that you would love and do and get some, get fulfill that desire, and really feel great that you're providing a product or service that is fulfilling the need, satisfy the want, need, or desire, and you're getting paid for it. Okay, that's the number one. The thing is that you get paid for doing something that you love to do. That's the best work in the world. You know, that's what we. That's if that is what you've been. If that's what's on someone's mind who is listening. That's what they've been battling and thinking about. I would say in a heartbeat, hey, just sign up.
Yeah.
Right? It's an investment in you, and investment in you is an investment in your future and everyone else.
Yeah.
And not only that, as you're building your business, you're going to influence other people as well. So what I've learned is interesting is, my children, 3 of my 5 daughters are entrepreneurs. They own businesses. One and my middle daughter is now will soon be the New York State Assembly member for the Bronx 79th Congress Assembly District.
Awesome.
Right. So out of 4 out of 5, they're all doing it. And my next to youngest, she's still working for a major hospital, but she still has an entrepreneur plan on her plate too. So they learned about being their own boss mainly because of watching their father, who they never saw really work for anyone, especially my youngest daughter, who's 27. She's never seen me work for anyone else until I took this job at WIBO. So when I became CEO of WIBO, that's like the first job I've had in over 24, 25 years.
Yeah.
And I basically text them that Tommy now has a job. Anyone like Martin, you would know what that means. But that has been pretty much my life, and it's been, the ability to do that inspired them to say they don't have to go and work for someone all their life, or they could take a part-time job and build their business or do whatever they need to do. But their whole thing, they all saw themselves as entrepreneurs.
Wonderful.
That's what you do when you're starting. And I'm so happy that we are seeing more women start businesses, because when you teach a woman something, she teaches the whole community. And that's going to be kind of important, that she's teaching the whole community, so she's going to be inspiring her children. She's going to be inspiring nieces and nephews and cousins, and they may either join her in the business. We're starting to see that. We're seeing mothers and daughters starting companies together. We just saw a situation where 19 people just bought land to start a little town and stuff.
That was
So
incredible.
we're starting to see these collaborations. We see the brothers who purchase property. So we're starting to see these collaborations amongst ourselves, and I'm hoping that I pray that we start to see even more of that, and more people saying that, so I'm not going to work for you. I'm going to do my own thing. I want to build my own business, and I'm going to find ways to provide myself the life that I deserve.
I think it's the way to go. I think it's the way to go. You already know how I feel. I believe in entrepreneurship. I believe if you're going to work hard for anybody, work that hard for yourself,
Definitely.
and build that generational wealth. So we want to thank you, Stephen. Thank you for your time. Thank you for participating in this venue with us. And we look forward to seeing you in June. You shared so much with us, and I'm sure some of our viewers will be reaching out to you and signing up. I encourage you to do so. And if you have any questions, feel free to share them in the comments, and we will share them with Mr. Jackson, Stephen Jackson, and have him get back to you as soon as he can. But thank you for joining us for our Juneteenth, educating, empowering, and entertaining. Looking forward to our big Juneteenth event in June of 2021, and come back and join us next month, October 19th, I believe, with our next speaker. And I believe that's going to be our auctioneer. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining in. We look forward to seeing you. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you for having me.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.